Double what? 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let them want to tell what was. Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I ain't telling no lies, I just got 5, 4, 3, 2, that's how I got to you. That one, my dreams come true, my life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Turn 7 to a 14.
And we're done. All right. You guys know what time it is. It is 8 o'clock on this beautiful Tuesday. And we are so glad you have decided to spend your Tuesday evening here with the Scoop Radio Show. I am Keila Willis, and I'm going to introduce the rest of the team here in a moment. But before I do that, I want to get a little business out of the way. Here at Scoop Nation, we are an interactive show. We give you many opportunities to share your thoughts with us. The one way to do that is to contact us via this particular live. You can share on, I believe if you are following Winfred, comment under Winfred Burns II's post if you would like your comments to be shared live with everybody. It's easier for Kels, Win, and I to keep up with the conversation, and it's the easiest way for you to be a part of the conversation. So follow Win and put your comments there and enjoy. I actually said we had many ways, but tonight we actually are keeping it clean. We have cleaned up this thing. We have discovered we had too much going on. So we have cleaned it up a little bit, and we expect to have a feedback-free show on this evening. So there's no longer a dial-in number. So you need to comment. That is the way that you get talked to, okay? We also invite you to share. We have an amazing show lined up for you tonight. We've got a really awesome guest who I think is going to have something for all of us to enjoy. We've got a... This hot topic is guaranteed to have you laughing, possibly crying, a little bit of fighting mad. It's got all kind of stuff potentially to go on because we had quite a few comments going on in the Scoop group. So I'm excited for this hot topic as well. We've got some news. It's just going to be dope. If you're new here, get ready. You're going to enjoy. If you are coming back, I'm excited. I'm happy that you decided to come back. All right, so now that you found out how you can connect with us, let's find out who us is, okay? Kels, how you doing today, sis?
I'm doing great on this fine Tuesday.
Yes, you looking good, girl. You got your glow on today, boo. Yes, I love it. Awesome. Win, how you doing, bro?
I am doing good. How are you tonight?
Doing well. It's been a good week so far. It's been a really good week.
Yeah, this about to be live, so y'all might as well go ahead and buckle your seat belts. We got a little bit of everything about to happen tonight.
Right. There I go. I got all of my business out the way, so I'm giving you the floor so we can get on into the news.
Let's go. Again, as Q said, if you have a comment or question, please put your comment or question in on the live feed. I see y'all coming in. And if this is your first time, if you come in tonight and this is your first time, please let us know this is your first time because we want to make sure we say hello and thank you to you. All right. Tonight in the news, as you all know, we are mourning the loss of our good brother, brother Nipsey Hussle, and who was tragically shot about an hour or so ago. It was reported that they have arrested the person who is suspected to have shot him. So, of course, we want to send our condolences to the family. We want to all who love him, all who have been affected by this, we want you to know that we love you, that we're praying for you, and to hang in there. So that's happening. But there was an article that was done by Blavity that I thought was pretty interesting. The title of the article is 9 Times Nipsey Hustled for His People. And so I want to make sure I want y'all to read this because again, let me first start off by saying I knew who Nipsey Hussle was, but in terms of I knew he was a rapper, but I never heard any of his music. Y'all know that's not my. I know John P. Key, but I don't know Nipsey. So not my genre. But just what I've learned over the past couple of weeks about this brother have been awesome. So I want to share this article. So 9 times, what this is called 9 times that Nipsey hustled for his community. Here we go. Number 1 is it says he opened the Marathon store. Nipsey had already opened a clothing store and convenience store, the Marathon store. The Double Up rapper staffed his businesses with residents from the surrounding neighborhood to ensure the income directly benefits the community. He even planned to open a barbershop and a Creole restaurant. Number 2, he planned to help end gang violence. He was scheduled to meet with law enforcement a day after his death to discuss ending violence in inner city neighborhoods. According to a tweet from Los Angeles Police Department Commissioner Steve Sabarov, Nipsey was the perfect man for his experience with gangs and violence. Number 3, Nipsey, he spoke to the fruitlessness of materialism. In the video that's in the article, an interviewer asked Nipsey why he wasn't blinged out, and his response was poignant. He said, it looked good, but at the end of the day, you're losing value. He said, it ain't appreciating, it's depreciating, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. Number 4, he planned to enter the real estate market. Nipsey and one of his business partners bought the plaza for a couple of million and plan to knock it down so it can be replaced with residential buildings and retail space, according to Forbes. His clothing store Marathon was going to be one of the tenants. He says that the plaza was a special meeting place because it helped him get started in the music game. He's quoted as saying, before we was renting here, I was hustling in this parking lot. He said in February, it just always has been a hub for local entrepreneurs. Number 5, he stayed enlightening his folk. He spoke eloquently about colonialism without using a lot of inaccessible language. Number 6, he embraced his African roots. Born to a Eritrean father and African-American mother, Nipsey traveled to his father's homeland in 2018. He says, I'm here to visit my family and reconnect with my grandmother, my cousins, and everybody else, Hustle said during his visit. I love to be here. The people, the food, the culture, and the lifestyle are extremely good. Number 7, Nipsey planned to enter the STEM industry. I didn't know this. The initiative, confidentially titled Too Big to Fail, was supposed to be a bridge between Silicon Valley and the inner city, according to Afrotech. Nip wanted to establish it in his native Crenshaw and across the country. Number 8, he was a role model. He did so much for his community, and it's clear he will be missed. Listen to this interview. And then number 9, Nip wanted to use his storytelling abilities for a documentary. Nipsey wanted to produce a documentary about controversial herbalist Dr. Sebi and his career, according to Heavy. The Racks in the Middle rapper was fascinated with Sebi and his battle with the justice system in the 80s. Sebi claimed he could cure AIDS, and the government took him to court to refute his claims. When asked to show a cured patient, he brought 77 people. He's quoted as saying, I think the story is important. It's a powerful narrative, he said to the Breakfast Club. Like if someone in this room said, hey, I cured AIDS, I'd be like, yeah, right. And then I can show you an example of him going to trial and proving in court he proved AIDS. I'd be interested in it. More so than championing this product, so explaining his methodology, put some light on that case. So the brother was
dope.
Pretty dope from what I'm reading. I mean, obviously, again, he has a past like everybody else. But I think these 9 things were very honorable. And I think we should honor this fallen young man, 33 years old, and gone to senseless violence. So, Kels, what's your thoughts?
I didn't really know who he was either. I just recently learned, with the tragic events, and I mean, I remember the same thing you were saying. He just seemed to be a really good person, had turned his life around and wanted to pour back in the community. So that is, above and beyond what we are expected to do as just human. So to me, it's just really sad for someone like that could really have made an impact and has made an impact. But think about what he could have done. To be murdered in the prime. So
I agree.
Disappointing.
I agree. Key, what you think?
This one hurt. It hurts. Presently hurts. Y'all know I'm a lover of rap music. Always have been. It's in me. So I have known of Nipsey for a while. I've been a fan of his music for a while. This feels different to me than when Tupac passed, because I feel we had him longer than we had Tupac, so we were able to see that other side. So, and like where it was going. We always talk about Tupac in the sense of, this is where he could imagine what he could have done if only he would have come out of, you know what I mean? We always speak about that because he was only 25, 26 when he passed away. Nipsey made it to 33 years old. We got to see him as a father, as a husband. We got to see him love a woman out loud, come out of the, the bees and hoes and, doing all of this, to loving your queen and saying, this is my queen, to taking your daughter to the Grammys and, having this little, like, we were able to see family and economics and reaching back, like all of the stuff that we say we want in our leaders. And it wasn't rapped how everybody expected it to be rapped. He didn't speak the way everybody expected him to speak, but he spoke to the people that his message was for. And it made enough noise that the people who wanted to dismiss it could not dismiss it, because he was making moves. And to me, that's major. And I'm really, really, really hoping that when we're finished with our theories and our bitching and the thoughts and prayers and all of the sharing and all of that we do, we really, really reflect on what his main mission was and what he said, even before he passed away. If y'all act, move your feet and do something with what I'm showing you. He was a man of action. And I think that is the most dope thing about him. And I really want folks to listen to his music. I hope they stream the hell out of his music and play it loud and listen to the lyrics, talk about the lyrics, have the conversations. Like we got to do more than share it for a couple days and then be like, remember when, you know what I mean? And do the t-shirts. And then every year when it shows up in the memories, we say RIP Nip and keep it moving. Like, we got to keep that going. It's got to be more than, he can't die for us to just share it and be done. Like, that would suck.
Yeah. I agree. Definitely agree. I think this is So I think what makes this sad, even more sad than, again, a lost life, a man it's like we keep getting to the point where we're seeing people elevate and then something coming and tear down. And in this instance, ourselves tearing down something that's being built. And granted, I know that we've got to have, multiple leaders and multiple people coming to try to build, but it seems like it gets, like you're building momentum and you want to see that momentum continue. So we just have to, at this point, we've got to just keep going, and we've got to say to, honor his work, honor the work that people before him have done, to say, listen, we know the blueprint. We see the blueprint. We know it's about ownership. We know it's about coming together as a community. And so we need to take this and say, okay, who's up? Who's, let's just say in sports, next man up. Let's go. Let's honor this man. Let's love his family. Let's protect, keep his family safe and make sure they're uplifted. But we got to also continue to make sure that our community understands that this is what he wanted. And I heard the interview where he said, if they take me out, y'all better ride. Y'all better ride.
So is there anybody else up for that y'all think would like slide into that position quick?
I mean, I think we got a lot of people who could potentially do it. I mean, I think there are a lot of people who are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that Nick Cannon said he was going to step up and continue. He was going to continue the documentary. I appreciated him for saying that. I think that's a necessary thing because we do need to figure out, and we need to know if this Dr. Sebi cure is real. But we also need I read one of the things he talked about where he said Jay-Z has shown us some of the blueprint in terms of business. I appreciated that. So yeah, I appreciated that too. So I think we got a lot of people who can do it. I think it's a thing. I agree with Lisa that this is something that we need all of us. Mm-hmm. We need all of us to kind of step up and say, we need more people. We need everybody. We need the entire community to step up and take your role. So if your thing is, politics, in the area of politics, you need to go ahead and do it. Step up and do it. If your thing is, it's economics, do that. Whatever your thing is, I think we need all hands on deck. What do you?
Oh, go ahead. I was trying to read. Somebody made a very good comment. Miss Lisa Gorman Burton says, but I think what needs to happen is it can't be one person. It has to be a movement. When they kill and knock down one, we need to keep the work going.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point out that.
That's true. To your question more specifically, Kels, you asked, are there other people who could step up? And I think yes, but more definitely along the lines of what Lisa said. I think that's part of our problem as a collective. We have always looked for one particular person for us to follow. It takes us forever to decide who that person is. And they will only allow that one person to get infected. And then we got to fight and go back and forth before we allow anyone else to even come in the fold. And if you come with a team, we side-eyeing the whole team. So when we ask for the collective to come forward, we have to be willing to adjust what we expect from that as well. We have to know what that looks like. We have to understand what collaboration looks like and what a healthy debate sounds like before we 86 the next person. You know what I'm saying? We can't look at, oh, your wife is too light, you disqualified, you can't possibly be for the people. You know what I mean? We can't start to be so minuscule in the midst of such a huge problem and expect work to get done. You know what I'm saying? And I think, yeah, it's good. We do need to change it. We need to keep it going. We need to put it all on the table, put everybody together at the table. But once we get them there, we're going to have to, nobody wants to work and have nothing be shown for it. You know what I'm saying? You think we're frustrated. Imagine the folks who still want to do the work and know how much harder it's going to be now. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to reconvince folks that it's worth it. Because now you got the folks, see, every time you stand up, you got somebody come shooting us down. The man always shooting us down. Like, it's that much harder. So it's harder to come for a team than it is to come for one. Is how I really think about it. I mean, we're indestructible as a team, but you break us down here, you might have a little problem. Yeah. So I think it's time for us to change our strategy, and we might have fewer of these instances as well.
What do you think, Kels? Do you think we have anybody?
I mean, I was trying to think of who I would put in that position because, like I said, I haven't known about Nipsey Hussle for a long time. But I think like the work that LeBron James was doing with the building of the schools, I thought that would take on, that was a big example. I thought other people would try to mimic. So like I think of someone like him that could have the same impact, being, you know, young enough to still reach the younger crowd, and, you know what you have to do as an adult to make a change.
Yep.
Lisa, we got an interesting question here. So Lisa asks, what can we do in each community to make a difference? She says we need a blueprint that addresses every area that needs to be focused on: education, technology, politics, medical science, lawyers, law enforcement, banking, etc. Anybody want to go first? Weigh in on that one first? Because y'all know I have a plan.
Well, I think part of the blueprint that everybody is trying to teach us that know what we need to do, from David Banner to, oh gosh, what's the other guy we just talked about the other week that was on the Breakfast Club?
You talk about Killer Mike.
Killer Mike. It's going to take group economics. Yep. I think that's the real key, because every group,
facts,
every group culture in America does that, and that's why they thrive. Mm-hmm. I just can't believe how selfish we still are after we know. Like, so many people know now. Now it's being accountable and just taking that step as individuals to follow the blueprint. We know it has to be group economics. It has to be buying within those communities where we are. And they have to just come back and lift us up in these communities.
Yeah, I think the best blueprint I've heard. Q, go ahead. I'll go last. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I agree. I think that we have to come together. I think I know here in Oklahoma City, we have the makings of that. With a lot of we've got some small groups that are team collaboration in all senses of the word. They want brown people, allies, people to come together and say, this is what we're here for. We're here for bettering our communities. We want you doctors. We want you lawyers. We want you CNAs. We want you assistants. Everyone has a role here if you're willing to do the work and you're about uplifting the community. So I don't think it's necessary to go out and create something new. Right. We love to create new stuff when we already have stuff already in the works. Like, it's already there. The blueprint is there. The groundwork has been laid. They just need the passionate people to come and do the work. Get your butt in the spaces and do the work. So I would say to that, seek out those people who have already stood up. Don't wait for it to get big. Don't wait for their membership to get 50 people or your homegirl and all the cool kids to get involved. Become a cool kid. Get involved yourself and start something. Be a part of something that it can get something started in your community. That's my answer to that.
Yeah, I agree. Dr. Claude Anderson talks about building, how to build our house. Mm-hmm. And he talks about, and I might be saying this wrong, but your first level has to be economics. So we need to establish an economic baseline where our money stays within our community. Number one. Number two, once you do that, then you build your political floor. So once you have money, well, let me back up. Part of us, in order to build money and economy as a culture, as a Black culture, is we need to get out of debt. We have far too much debt in our community. So I've been saying that we probably need to spend about 3 years as a community saying, every ounce of debt that we have in our community, let's eliminate it. And in 3 years, I can guarantee you, if our communities got really serious about it, we could see a ton of people get out of debt. Again, then number two, then he talks about, so after you build an economic base, then you have enough power to buy a political base. So you can buy, meaning when I say buy, I mean give money to the political offices of the people who you want to be your judges, your presidents, your congressmen, all those types of people. From there, you then build a educational infrastructure, because you cannot move forward if you don't have an educational infrastructure where you're bringing up the net. So we have the blueprint already. Again, we don't. And Lisa, your point, Lisa says that as a people, we've been brainwashed not to trust each other. We steal from each other and tear each other down. That is the bigger problem than knowing the blueprint. We know the blueprint. We just don't trust one another enough to say, we're like, what Q was saying, I think it was Q earlier was saying, is that we're going to put somebody, anytime somebody steps up and tries to lead, we're going to put them through the ringer. You know, they not black enough. They too black. They the wrong religion. They the wrong, in the past you were this, and you got too many tattoos. You got an earring. Your head is shaped funny. Like, we got a reason for everything.
Everything.
And it's not to say that we can't disagree with one another, and that we can't argue and debate our point to where we come to, even if we disagree. But even if we disagree, we still at the end of the day say, okay, I might not agree with your religion. I might not agree that you got a white wife. I might not agree with that you eat pork, whatever thing that we do. But ultimately, you're a part of my community. And because you're a part of my community, I need you.
Yep.
And when we get to that, how do we build trust? We build trust by establishing small groups, like we're saying, small groups of people who can collaborate. And then when those groups get together and say, okay, we have a group of people who are collaborating, you have a group of people who are collaborating, let's put those groups together and let's build something bigger. And we keep doing that. And we see that not just the person on top is getting fed, not just the person on top is the millionaire, not just the person on top is getting the benefit, but everybody, but the community succeeds. Then I think we can start seeing some change.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
My opinion.
Yeah, that's just your opinion. No, that is the blueprint.
My opinion.
Tasia said, personal preference cannot exist for the betterment of the community. Girl, you better preach. That's true. You can have an ideal and you can align with the people who can best put you in position to meet your ideals. But at the end of the day, I think you have to, in a lot of ways, sacrifice your personal pleasure in the whole plan for the collective. Like, you have to. If you're gonna say for the community, you can't just keep hollering what I want. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Very
But
good.
if you gonna yell then you need to be in the forefront.
Yep. Work.
So that's what kills me about us too. If you have a lot of concerns or you don't like how something's being done, why don't you do it?
Yeah.
So that's why I keep my mouth quiet on some things, because I'm like, I know I ain't supposed to do that. So but if it's something I'm passionate about, sometimes you just have to step in and do it.
I agree.
That's true.
And I think we have some great minds. We always talk about how bad we are, the best we are, yet we don't show it in the right way.
Or we're I don't think the issue is that is the minds. I think the issue is we have not learned how to execute properly. And when we do, and when people, we don't execute properly, and then as we're learning to execute, because some of this is we just don't know yet, but as we're executing properly, instead of us bringing along the people behind us, we then like to do this thing where we kind of push them down, which is sometimes comes across as a generational issue, where older generation that can't work with the new one, or the newer generation doesn't want to listen to the older because they don't know better and they don't know nothing and they don't want to listen to us. So sometimes that manifests that way. But we gotta, I'm okay with you having a personal preference, but your personal preference needs to come with a personal plan that's going to help, make this better. And so we can all say, okay, fine. We didn't see that. We didn't think about that. Let's add this to it or take this out and replace it with that. Like, it's room for everybody. It's room for everybody.
And you can't snatch up your marbles and stomp out the damn playground when your preference doesn't get made priority first. There's been so many amazing things that have been completely destroyed because somebody got mad because nobody wanted to listen to me right now. It's my turn and no one wants to hear me right now. Grow up. Like, it's time to grow up. They are legit killing us. Like, we are legit. Our debt numbers, our family structure, we need to get it together and start focusing on something bigger than I. If you ever want to get better and have any chance at winning this thing, you're gonna have to get out of yourself. You have to get out of your feelings because you can't get no work done in your feelings. It just doesn't happen that way.
Yep. With this, we gotta move on. So Shalisa says, I'm familiar with that, what you're talking about, economics, political education. The LGBTQ community has their blueprint down. They come in numbers with all this and make changes towards their agenda. Come on, Black folks, get it together. Amen. Shantae says, a modern day Black Wall Street should happen. I've been saying this for years. Q, you're right. We can grow when we work together. I agree. Yeah. Okay.
Don't do it. Don't do
The biggest problem we also have is that we let too many people know what we're doing before we do it, and we get blocked before it gets off the ground. Sometimes we have to move in silence. That's a fact.
Yeah, totally agree with that. So glad you read that out loud. Yeah,
that's a fact. But the problem is we really don't have. I think that we don't have large ways to communicate what we're doing too. So that's something we need to work out. Like, what's our communication strategy so we don't have to tell what we're doing. So, all right, we gotta move.
Computer. Get in front of folks again. Go ahead. Yeah. I know. We gotta wrap.
Yeah, move on. I see Kels over there hitting me with the.
She was looking for it.
I feel looking down like, bro, you into my hot top. You about to get into my hot topic. I'm gonna move on. All right, I'm gonna move on. First, I know, Kels. I'm sorry. Sorry, Kels. I don't want no problems. The news was brought to you by the Level Up Conference. We want to again invite you all to come and join us in Chicago, August 9th, 10th, and 11th. If you're ready to take your faith, your family, and your finances to the next level, you need to join us for 2.5 days of training, of teaching, of entertainment that is designed to give you not only a first-class conference experience, but to give you what you need to change not only your family, but your community and your money. Go to www.levelupchicago.com today and get registered.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Level up. All right. So our first song of the night is called Man of the Hour by Chestnut Checkers. After this, we're going to get into hot topic with Kels. I'm going to go grab me something to drink now because this is about to be very interesting. We'll be right back after this song on the Scoop Radio Show.
Get your drink.
Check. 405 already. Yeah. Come on. Hey. You should turn your recorders on so you can capture the raw. Cause I roll with the heat like heat waves in the back of my car. And lately I'm sliding off your girl straps on the bra. Using physical instruments to test the tip and the jaws. Want a bra? I can arrange that with a car. Keep it pimping, cause if you slip, you get sick by my dog. From January the 1st until the end of the fall, I drop bombs on these that be taking me off. So recognize the extremities when it's MCs ripping. Only claiming Jesus. Too many B's and C's in the bean. Trying to season my team. Like my granny seasons a green. Fall in love with my paper. Treat the bull like a flame. Cause you dilly-dally. You tad big with this rap. Average actress acting ass and get your arrow kicked. Your weeble wobbly flows. Cannot compete with the pros. But wearing cleats in the grass. Cause there's a beast where I grow. Man at an hour. You should take a picture. I'm the man at an hour, not your regular old. I'm the man at an hour. You should take a picture. I'm the man at an hour, not your regular old. I keep it rough, rugged, and raw. And ain't forget y'all. Just trying to see the paper stack and cascade to the floor. Spit a monsoon and toss a lifeline to your bra. Was cut to the chase. She call me in the morning for sure. See, it's a problem when you don't see you abusing your freedom. Only coming around and calling. When your wealth is in need, bed pallet and pillowcase hopping and popping for cheap. $40 bobbing and weaving, profits all in the knees. But I'ma get it till I transition, and until I'm fitting my and my and a chick in a whip with brains missing. And not to mention she was brains giving. Cause I'm the boss with the stuffing and sauce for your Thanksgiving. My aim's efficient. Do my money dance with so much precision. The government just offered a pension. Either out of town or out of the office. But always fresh to death. So non-believers pass me a coffin. Get lost. I don't know how to call it. She wasn't honest in the beginning. But she got it to poppin'. I can't recall my ever been it on a bottle of water. Papa, ask your mom about my skill sets. That's real. Like you, I'm the man of the hour. You should take a picture. I'm the man of the hour, not your regular old. I'm the man of the hour. You should take a picture. I'm the man of the hour, not your regular old. Baby.
We got 2 songs.
No, please.
I thought we had 2 songs.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying. Well, now y'all know it is time for the Scoop Nation Hot Topic with the girl Kels. Hot Topic is brought to you by Curvy Kitten Clothing, where self-reflection is perfection. Get you some Curvy Kitten today at www.curvykittens.com. So, shout out to Miss Sean for posting this and getting us all fired up. The hot topic comes from an article about Pastor John Gray.
Mm-hmm.
He wants his congregation to donate $250,000 for repairs on a new church roof. I did post the article. Well, this was an article that was posted. And yeah, a lot of mixed reviews about the donating of the $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to do is I'm going to go to Q first, get your thoughts on it. Then we're going to go to some comments. So.
Good move.
Think
Yeah.
about him asking the peoples to pay for the church repairs.
Well, I don't have any problem with asking the people to pay for the church repairs. That's who's supposed to pay for the church repairs. The church takes care of the church. I read through the comments on this post, and for the most part, I agree with those who say that the pastor at any point can be voted in or out, and in a lot of ways is an employee of the church. There are some churches who have a collective family situation where it's an all hands on deck thing and it's just understood. Some other churches have a more roof fund approach where you put your money in the basket, accountants do what, treasurer does what treasurer does. You get your little report and then we find out what we need. That sounds like what's happening here. I don't follow this particular pastor closely, aside from these headlines that will not get out of my news feed.
Will not.
Will not. I know all about the Lambo and the line and the extra. And, now we found out he's inherited a church that had bills and a leaky roof, a 15-year-old roof. So, I mean, there was a comment on the post in the Scoop that said that he doesn't necessarily have to stay in this physical building, which I agree with. I don't know how much. Does he have a 250,000 square foot congregation? Do they have enough people that come in and pack that building out? And if so, then what he's asked does not sound like a huge amount of money, even if it's not $100 or the 300 per 500, however that math worked out. If every person does $50 a person over a certain amount of time, now April 3rd seemed a little bit much. If this is all coming out, if we posted, like 2 weeks ago, like, bro, I'm gonna need a couple checks before I just write the church $100 check. You have to plan for that, So I think that was a bit much. So he could do a little more as far as tact in this situation, considering his ask. I posed a question earlier this week about PR. Him needs a PR agent real quick. The church needs a PR. Pastor needs some PR in his life. So, but aside from that, I don't think his ask is too much. I think how he went about asking might have been a bit much, especially amongst all this extra that he has going on. His timing is terrible. His timing is completely terrible. So that's not helping out anything. That's why I say the tact, the way he's going about this is just it's asking for it.
And I know you said the word tact, but I'm just thinking, how many pastors strategize when they're asking for money? I don't know if they strategize their speeches before they get out there, but the way I perceive is that they just ask, like, you know, if they were told, if the Spirit told them, they asking by the seat of their pants. To me, is what I don't know.
If the Spirit told you one thing and the Spirit tell me something else, we're gonna have to have a little more conversation.
Now, that's why I said I definitely was shocked at the dates. Like, I don't know how many, but you know, you do have some church services where they're like, oh, we 10,000 short. We need 100 people to give $100 right now.
Don't get me started on the.
We do have that. I wanted to read a couple of comments. Let's see. Miss Alicia says, I mean, the amount may be high, but asking for the church to pay for things to keep the church up and running is normal, right? I'm not sure what comes from what fund, but the pastor shouldn't be paying for it out of his pocket. Because that was some comments that were made. People thought that since he had money, he should pay for it out of his pocket. I'm gonna go to Win, and we're gonna go to some more. That's a good lead in for the pastor. The minister.
Let me say this. First of all, there is no way in the Hades that should this man write a check for $250,000.
Yeah,
it's just not. Again, it's not his bill. If this was his building, I'd be like, bro, it's yours. You it's your building. Like, just it's your house. So if it's your house, pay for your house. This is a church that the problem is again, to Q's point, he has had the worst last 7-8 months that I have seen in a long time. And had he have shut his mouth a while ago, I'm just gonna say it. Had he have shut his mouth a while ago, with all of the other issues that he had, when this came up, it'd be like, oh, we just need a new roof. Okay, fine, cool. So we need, but the fact that he had all of these problems, the succession of issues that came out, and he hasn't he has not handled this well. Not only does he don't need a PR agent, he needs a pastor. He needs a pastor, an older pastor to say, as my dad would say, son, sit your butt down and shut up. Like, he needs somebody to tell him, sit down, shut up. You're doing too much right now. I need you to just hush. Yeah. Because you're doing too much. Like, you're adding fuel to a fire. And when you throw this on top of all of the other stuff, it looks bad. But the reality is, when a roof breaks at a church, it is the church's responsibility. He said, I am going to participate in giving money towards this, but this is something that as a church we need to do. Knowing, and for all the people who were saying, well, the church should have money for this, again, you don't know that the full situation is he didn't. He did inherit this church where the previous pastor took a good majority of the money. So when he first got to this church, which was, by the way, when he first took this church, it wasn't just one church. He had four different locations of this church. So when he took over this church, the other locations decided, we're not following him. We're going to start our own. So that money left. Then he still got maintenance and all this on these other buildings. So they came in with no money, with a little money, and had to fire most of the church staff because they couldn't afford to pay them, because they didn't have money. And then because this was a totally different shift, you know, this is the previous pastor was a white guy, and this is South Carolina. there were people who said, and it was a mixed congregation, there were people who left and said, we don't want to follow him. And so that church was full, but now it became not full and is slowly building back up. So the amount of money they were bringing in and that they had did drastically change.
Mm-hmm.
But again, all of that is fine. But when you throw into it his other stuff,
right? But even just for the sake of conversation, well, and you pretty much already answered it. But I had to think about it personally, especially for someone who grew up in the church, and my dad is a pastor. I'm just in there thinking, if it wasn't a $250,000 roof, it was a $1,500 roof at the small church we used to have when I was growing up. I don't know that it would be assumed that, the pastor would just pay for it. Any pastor at any church, like, would you think they really would just pay for the roof? Yeah. They're going to find a way for the church to pay for it. They're going to raise offerings. They're going to do all of that. So I don't think it was,
and
I don't think it was anything wrong with it. And just to lead into another part of the conversation, this is another comment, says, shouldn't that come out of the tithes and offering that they receive? It's going to always be something with these churches. Something always got to be repaired. I'm sorry, people have lives, their own home repairs, children, unexpected financial issues. He has a pretty big congregation, so he should already be receiving a generous amount weekly. I hope they letting the people know where every little penny is going.
I do too.
On a quarterly or annual basis.
Whenever they want. I think as a member of the church, you should be able to look. You're a member. You give money to the church. I think the one other part that people miss is, like, you see large churches and you say, oh, they got a lot of money. Like,
yeah,
in most churches, 20% of the people are giving. That's it. So it's not like, okay, he might have 5,000 members, but all 5,000 of them are not giving.
Right. True.
It's just a fact.
I did want to read one of the live comments from Tay. It says, there should be some musicals, dinners, and benefits, along with what member obligations are, including the pastor and first lady.
Yeah.
True. And I think Q dibble-dabbled off into that because most people will rally, start fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there should be some fundraising. But I think I'm just always shocked when I see people just assume that every pastor is crooked. I mean, check is the leak. Is the leak really? I mean, is the roof really leaking? I mean, that's
right. Is it leaking? Right.
Is the roof leaking?
Right. How bad? And that's why when people are saying, like, the amount, like the date and stuff, I'm thinking, well, I don't know how bad the roof is. If the roof about to fall in, the date is fine. Like, we need this money. The roof about to fall in, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We got garbage cans underneath the roof catching the water. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen churches like that where they got tarp, and so I don't know how bad it is. But if it's a bad leak, we need to do it.
Yeah. It just seems, but that's a hard sell though. On a Sunday, you need the money by Wednesday.
Yeah. And they're gonna justifiably have questions as to why did we wait until the tarp is holding the roof up before you ask for this money? That's a very good question to ask.
And you should, and he should, and as a leader, you stand there and answer every. I mean, y'all saw what I did today. Like, well, maybe y'all didn't see, but even I give y'all information like this: where money go, this where money go.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yes, I did.
How much else? I mean, as a leader, you got to answer the questions. Like, if you want to know,
right? And we don't have. It doesn't show anybody. I don't see any other articles, or personally saying that somebody was questioning, the roof. Most of these articles we see about mostly him, because he's the pastor that's in the headlines every week now. Mm-hmm. As much as people scrutinize him, you don't really see, someone from the church standing up and coming out saying that he's doing something wrong.
Nope.
Yeah. Somebody said, Veranda says, you have them churches that are against fundraising and selling dinners, and I was gonna say that is true. You have people who
Really?
aren't. Yeah, I mean, especially your larger, more progressive churches now,
Mhm.
they're not selling dinners anymore. Like that scene is.
Wow.
Now,
But
I will.
how are funds being raised?
Huh?
How are funds being raised if they don't fundraise?
Conferences, tithes and offerings,
Mhm.
events. Like, so there are a lot of churches that will allow people to hold events at their church, and so you have to pay for it when people come in town. Like churches like that, when people come in town, instead of using like the convention center to have a concert, they'll come and hold at the church, stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah, I can see that.
I have seen more conferences show up.
Yeah.
The people churches and the life churches do conferences here all the time. That's the most I've ever seen a church conference has been in those types of churches here in the city. So yeah, that's true.
Especially if you're a mega church like that. I guess to me, once everything was verified, if the roof is leaking, then hey, everybody got to band together and fix the roof. Y'all cannot expect this man
Yeah.
To pay for it.
drive the Lamborghini like he has to. So should he have to sell his car every time something is going on? Like,
right.
yeah, like who does that? I mean, any leader of any organization, if it's not their own personal organization, churches are not the ministers' organizations.
Right.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, they are organizations. They have lawsuits. That building belongs to the church. He can't just move that church. Depends on what, affiliation he's with and things like that. So there's more than just, getting up there and preaching and saying that's your church. The building is not the pastor.
Yeah. But again, it just look, and I'm not one of them people that's saying that you should live your life based upon appearances of other people.
Mm-hmm.
But you went from we ain't got no money this Sunday. We ain't got no money, but if you need money, take some out the offering. To the next here's a Lamborghini. To the next, so it's just a lot of it's bad timing, bad planning.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it has people questioning his character.
Mm-hmm.
What are you in it for? You know what I mean? There's one thing, we all human. We all get having a series of an unfortunate events, having a run of bad luck. You know what I mean? We all done been through some storms and needed some folks to pray us through. Okay? We get it. This does not look like what this man is going through. It looks like he's positioning himself in the space to say, hey, look at me. And then when it's not as pretty as he expected it to be, because he still got them skeletons in that closet he's working through, but God said the spring is going to be terrible, so we need a roof. Like, none of that makes any sense, bro. Like, take all that off. None of that makes any sense.
He tried to be Noah. In 2019.
Yeah, like he needs to stop. It just looks like too much. Pastor, if it was homie from around the way, I tell my homie to have several seats. You are doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's enough.
It is.
So a lot of it can be solved by just saying, "Hey,
right." I mean, it's too much because why is a church's leaky roof in the news anyway?
Right.
Because
every church has a roof fund. Why we got to know about his and the details and specifics and schematics and how to go? I don't need to know all that.
Y'all know why. Don't trip.
I'm just saying, it's just too much, Pastor John.
All I want to say is, if I'm ever in the news like that, which I won't
before it gets there,
which I will not be. Let me just which I will not be.
I mean, and that's just.
Y'all have permission to tell me sit all the way down.
Yeah. It just seems there's a lot of sensationalism going on, so it does make. I mean, it does make us who don't know him question him. Yep. But I mean, I'm still just back. Why would you even write that story? Like, I don't think I'd be looking around trying to see, a leaky roof situation, unless there's somebody in the church that's calling the press every time. Every time something goes
It could
on.
be. It
like,
could
be.
He didn't give him time to grieve.
Yeah.
He said that he's feeling some pushback from the congregation. He mentioned that in the article. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't give you guys enough time to grieve after that loss. And I came right in expecting you all to just take me under your wing, you know what I mean? And welcome me in. And he didn't get that. And I'm thinking he's realizing that now. I don't think he might have the counsel that he expected he was going to have when all of this hit the fan. And now that he needs them to show up as a church, he's trying to look back and like, look, okay, I get it now. Now we need to back. But it's, at this point, he hasn't done enough of that privately. So when he comes out publicly, just like when any of us have somebody trying to make good, you ain't done your work, bro. Like, you haven't done what you need to do to make it right before you start telling everybody everybody else how sorry you are. Why you telling the folks that you having wrong? You know what I mean? Like, you backtrack. You ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
It's too much. Chill out, bro.
So do you think he should get some leeway as a new pastor, though?
What kind of leeway are we talking about?
Like,
Right.
if the roof is leaking, you know, it should have been a maintenance on it, some preventive maintenance and things like that. So would you give them, a new pastor, some grace?
I mean, they need the money. They need to give up the money, period.
Yeah.
In this instance, they need to give up the money. Because if the roof is damaged, needs to be fixed. It's a large building. It's a 250,000 square foot building.
Yeah.
So it's a huge building. I think the leeway, I think he should get some grace, but I think with that, in terms of everything, except you got to stop feeding this. You got to stop feeding this fire. Like, you're fanning this flame with foolishness. You are
Foolish fires.
You're going
Foolish fires.
saying crazy stuff, and like everybody like, huh? And then the side chick is saying stuff, and this one saying stuff, and like, bruh, your wife is a cult. No, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, do your Oprah show and be quiet. Be quiet for like 3 months. Just be quiet.
I don't think he can. It seems like with his personality, I don't think he can, or that he doesn't want to. He got to stay in front.
Folks like that who don't want to. They can't get out their own way. He sounds like one of those folks that can't get out their own way.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear no. I don't want you. Don't be on social media. Don't.
He ain't gonna be able to do it. He ain't been able to
See you on Wednesdays and Sundays in the pulpit, and that's it for a good 3 months, and you'll be fine.
He'll go down to the flaming choir road before he closed them lips.
Right.
Them lips leaking more than that roof is right now. He can't even stop it right now. He can't help it.
I wonder if people will give based on it, like the attendees of that church, the members of that church, if they would give based on the fact that it's in the news now. You know how fickle people are.
I'm good.
Like, they all want to see it. They all want to follow up.
They're gonna get it.
Yeah. I think he'll give it. They'll end up getting it just for the simple fact that, they, if anything, they thinking we're gonna get a show out of this. Like, those folks, like you said, that love that kind of stuff, thinking that they're priming that church for a reality show. I want to know, is this the best quote you could get? Do we realize that breaks down to a G a foot, right? A G a square foot? We don't know. And where's this church? Where's the church?
It's $1 a square foot.
It's 250. Well, how much?
250,000 square foot, so it's $1 a square foot.
$1. Oh, okay. I had a number. I had something wrong in my mind. I was gonna say we need to look at this quote. I know. We can find some folks that can put up a roof,
but cheaper than that.
Yes.
Bargain shop.
I said $1 a square foot ain't bad.
No, that's good. I had a different number in my mind. Okay, that's good. Carry on. Lots of questions. Like, that doesn't look good again. Like, we can't have a platinum roof when we broke and asking folks to put in. We can't get platinum roof.
We need to get the lower tile. What's the next level?
Tier 1. We need that prayer partner roof.
I'm trying to get the metal roof. It's not metal roof time.
Right.
Well,
On that note, on a lighter note, we're gonna wrap this on up. Remember, the hot topic is brought to you weekly by Curvy Kitten Clothing, where it is more than a clothing line. It's a movement to realize that loving all of our curves, no matter what size, is the foundation for loving each other. Remember, our fashion show is May 19, 2019, with host Bianca Golden. We're gonna have Curvy Kittens, got cool cats. We're in a big man to be in the building. So this is going to be exciting, guys. So
Yes.
can't wait for you to get your tickets.
Where can I get the tickets from again?
You can get the tickets from www.curvykittens.com. So yeah, you can get your attire and your tickets all in the same location.
One stop.
One stop shop. And our next song is Catch a Vibe by Get It Man Fresh. Is that all the name? Get It Man Fresh? Okay. Catch a Vibe by Get It Man Fresh.
I say you're winning. You say you mean nothing. You can never lose if you're winning. First place, you deserve that ribbon. We should catch a vibe. We should catch a vibe. Catch a vibe.
Catch a vibe like we catch a feeling. Watch a vibe track straight through the ceiling. And I'm on the sky high. Dancing with the stars. So cool. The action. This is more than just a sexual attraction. Miss you, we get independent. And that's why you're so different. I ain't seen you in a minute. Trying to see if you still fit. Breakfast in the morning, just a feeling. I've been hustling all week for the weekend.
I say you're winning. You say you mean nothing. You can never lose if you're winning. First place, you deserve that ribbon. We should catch a vibe. We should catch a vibe. We should catch a vibe. Think I've been a long time, boy. Used to have a man for a long time, boy. Now I've been single for a long time, boy. Right on time, it ain't the wrong time, boy. Now you wanna share my business, but it can't be love, what is this? And it ain't even close to Christmas. Damn boy, you gifted. Catch a vibe with me. Don't lie to me. Get fly with me. Speak the truth, let me know what you're trying to be. I ain't seen you in a minute. You just claim you need that different. You can never lose if you win it. First place, you deserve that ribbon. We should catch a vibe. We should catch a vibe. We should catch a vibe. Catch a
All right.
Whoa. I gotta work on that part.
Yeah. We'll get it. Hey, but we didn't have screeching and all that other, so we'll allow it. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that one.
That was Catch a Vibe by Get It Man Fresh, and I like that. That was I caught my vibe. Don't know about you, but I'm hoping we put that one again because that one was pretty sexy for the one time. All right. Tonight's main topic segment is going to be brought to you by Elegance by Design, where healthy hair and skin is our priority, but a beautiful you is always our specialty. You can get your all-natural hair and skincare products at elegancebydesign.com. That is Elegance by Design with a Z.com. All right. So tonight we are going to talk about what it is like to balance your principles with your paper. A lot of the time we will get very, very caught up in creating our business, especially though for those of us who have decided to be entrepreneurs. And if you have not, don't go dark on me. This is not going to be lost on you. We're going to have something for you as well. But for those of us who have chosen to be entrepreneurs, we often have to make the decision how much of our personal selves, how much of our personal passions and purposes are we going to share with people who don't know us personally, especially if there are things that can be controversial or unpopular, or just kind of different. A lot of the times it can take a while before we start to mesh those things into our businesses for fear of not being accepted. Is my fan base or is my target market going to accept this thing about me? Do they just want the product? Those types of things become a bigger question. So I know that all of us have businesses, and you all know we all have businesses, but we want to talk about how much of your personal purpose, how much of your personal, whether it be religion, your personal passions, how much of that do you share with your target, and how much of that do you feel is a sacrifice? Do you feel there's some sacrifice in that? And how, as a business owner and how, as a person, when moving about the cabin of the social way that we have to do things, how do you mesh your personal beliefs and purposes with those of the people that you want to be around, your peers? Kels, I'm gonna go to you first.
So how do you mesh your purpose?
Your personal purpose, yep, with that of your professional or your business, yeah.
I think that anybody that stands for a purpose, that your purpose usually comes out in anything that you do. So I think that it already has to be meshed for you to be successful.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's easy for us to code switch. And I'm not trying to go down a rabbit hole or anything, but sometimes I think it's easier for us to code switch when we're employed and working for someone else, because that doesn't always have to be our passion. But when we're as entrepreneurs or people that are running their own organizations, that's theirs. The personality of the business is your personality, at least at starting out.
Sure.
So I think I like that little quote now. How do you mesh your purpose with your peers? Like, I think that is a very good conversation, and I think that it comes natural if you really have a purpose. If it's not natural to you, then maybe that's not really your passion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
or let me throw this in there too. Or are you really? I think one of the bigger problems before we even get to that is, are you even really clear on your purpose?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I think a lot of our mistake is we do things a lot of time by, we call flying by the seat of your pants. Like, you just kind of feel it today, so let's try it.
Yeah.
Not realizing that in order to build something, in order to do something, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of failure. It's going to take a lot of, and that's entrepreneurship. That's corporate America moving up. That's the beginning. Like, it's going to take a lot to get to a place where there is, where you're good at what you do, where you're seen for what you do, where you're noticed for what you do, where you're paid well for what you do. That takes time. And so I think a lot of times when we get in that, what winds up happening is we find out again that this really ain't my purpose. This is just something I did because I'm gonna say it, because everybody else started the podcast, so we gonna start a podcast too because it looks cute. Everybody else got a t-shirt company, so we're gonna do I'm gonna do a t-shirt company too. Like, everybody else got a restaurant, let me do it. And then when you get into it and realize, oh wait, there's a cost to this.
Yeah.
There's some late nights to this. I got to learn some new skills. I got to do some accounting that I hate. I got to do some that I don't like. It means I can't sit up in the bed. You're like, wait a minute, hold on. Because purpose pushes you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't realize.
Now, while I agree with both of your points to that, and you know I'm all warm and fuzzy when it comes to connecting to a purpose and a passion, do you expect that to come out in every aspect of, say, your business? Because I can have, you know, especially if we have multiple streams of income, you don't want everything to say, does everything have to scream your purpose? Or is that an expectation that we set from folks? Because I think sometimes we will, not even in business, we will get sidetracked by what we want a person or a product or a brand to be, based on our ideals of them, not really always knowing what their passion really is. This could be a means to get them to the passion. This could be a little side hustle to set them up to be able to launch onto the passion place. What do you say about, like, do we expect too much personal from people before they're ready? And is that some of the pressure in that? Oh my goodness, how many more P words can we use during this particular segment? I'm really trying. I promise I'm not doing that on purpose, but they fit. So there we are. But I mean, is that kind of where we're at though? Do we sometimes put too much on people wanting to be besties with everybody?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that we got to realize that everybody is not, like, just because they're your friend doesn't mean that they're supposed to do business like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second. Keep talking. Our guest is trying to get in this.
Okay.
Hello?
All right. So yeah, I do think that I can say this is going to be a little truth moment that I'll share. This is something that I had to wonder about. And I know Kels and Wynn know for sure that I've battled with this. And it was only until I was able to really define what I wanted to do as far as my purpose, did all those other things fall into place, and did it become more, it got easier. So I can speak for sure to what you both said as far as your clarity in your purpose will make that a lot easier. And I think sometimes when we see other businesses or other public figures, even not necessarily businesses because they're becoming brands, but not necessarily selling a product, but we feel so empowered through them. You know, that was some of the conversation that we had about Cardi B last week. You know what I mean? We feel a certain type of way when we watch them do them. You know what I mean? So we live vicariously through these people and these ideals. And until you get that type of clarity where you can stand up and say the unpopular thing and be like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Until we find that thing that clicks for us, that can be a tough spot to be in. Yeah. Yeah. Finding that voice. Yeah. Kels, have you always known what Curvy Kitten was going to do and what your passion projects were going to be, or were there ever a little
I think because I set on just the word Curvy Kitten and what my passion was for so long, because I was scared, just simply scared of failing, that before I released it into the wild, into the public, I already knew what I wanted it to be. So I had some goals and some measures to kind of keep me on track. Now, the way that I'm getting to where I am has been different as far as, you know, movements. But, you know, knowing I wanted to be a part of the industry, knowing I wanted to impact my community and uplift my community has always been a part of my purpose.
Yeah.
So
it was just put it somewhere.
As my dreams changed, that piece never did.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I totally feel that. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. And I think that just has to do with getting your feet wet, you know, and that's like if you're just growing into adulthood, say from college into real adulthood, you know, because you just think you're grown, but then you get grown when the first financial aid payment show up, and then you got rent too. Like what? You know, when you transition through these different phases of self, it allows you a different confidence to share, you know what I mean? Those types of parts of yourself, whether it be your business or just saying what's on your mind, you know, because like you've always known what Curvy Kitten was. Whether it was gonna be t-shirts, it could have been
Right.
mud, been shower curtains, but you knew
Right.
damn shower curtains was gonna make you feel damn good when you got your naked self out of that shower. That was the goal. You know? And I have similar feelings of what Elegance by Design was always designed to do. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if it's hair products, or speaking, or writing, the goal is always, you know, empowering women to be empowered by their design, happy with how they came designed. You know what I'm saying? So that has always been what we're here for. So I think that's really deep in itself. But to have the conversation with others, to even find out, Tay, beautiful girl, you feeling us, you vibing with us, to even be able to open those conversations, to ask our peers what motivates you. Because we're so excited about finding our thing that we want to tell everybody else about it. But you really have to stop and ask those people that are your tribe, what is your passion? How can I help you uncover your purpose? You know what I mean? And sometimes they need a little nudge. You love doing such and such, girl. Why don't you know what I mean? People flock to you to do such and such. Why don't you try and, you know, give that little nudge? Everybody doesn't see that in themselves. You know? When do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that, again, I think that's probably the hardest thing, but the most important thing, because it's not something that anybody could tell you or give you. It's something that you have to, like, you have to come through or come to on your own and by yourself. Like, we can't say, oh, this is your, you know, this is your purpose. This is your
you can't do that. Yeah.
You don't have most people don't have a pamphlet for it. But I just wanted to give an example for the Let's Rap this weekend. We had a little segment in there where you were like, your goals for 2019, and y'all know anything dealing with business, entrepreneurship, somebody wanting to do something with their passion, it just clings to me. So met a young lady we never met before. I'm still looking for her on Facebook. So Issa, if you see this, I'm still gonna connect. I saw her makeup. Her makeup was flawless, and I just happened to ask her. I'm like, "Are you a makeup artist?" And she was like, "No, actually, I do makeup and nursing." And I was like, "She was like, but if I had to pick it to be makeup, I was like, I tell you what, you gonna do like 2-3 faces in my fashion show, like done. It's done today. Your first gig is May 19, 2019.
Make it happen.
Yes. So you're right. Sometimes it just takes that confirmation from somebody else and you don't even know. She was like, yeah, I mean, what if she wouldn't have done her makeup that day? You know, she was like, I don't do makeup every day. So, you know, it's your purpose. To me, when you're walking in it just pulls from everywhere and you need it because you have to have people pour into you because, honey.
Lakeitha says she'll connect now. She'll get y'all connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, honey, this is not. Tay said it. Adulting is not for the faint. It's always anything else. So, to me, when you accept that purpose, and I mean, it's a part of you. You can't even shake it if you want to. It's gonna be around you everywhere.
Ooh, that part kills. That part. You can't even shake it if you want to. Jesus. Because like Tay said, it's hard enough just adulting. Whenever you try to do something outside of the normal survival stuff, you know what I mean? Here comes pew, 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 pew. It comes all things formed against you. That quote, I mean, this verse is there for a reason. Anybody destined to do anything more than just breathe and die,
right?
It's gonna have a weapon or two that they gonna feel is formed specifically against them and their inability to process.
Say a word.
You got to find a little faith. You're gonna get you a deep, deep well of some folks to throw all of your complaints into and all your fears and your cries and your frustrations, so they can throw that stuff. Oh, I almost cussed. See, where's the place? They can throw that stuff right back up at you with a solution to say, "No, ma'am, I'm gonna send you this bucket of some solutions. I'm gonna send you this bucket of ideas back up. You're gonna work this out. You're gonna cry about it, and we're gonna do this thing all over again." Like that is so important in finding, I think, regardless if it's a business, if it's doing a little more mentoring, whatever, you know, you need people that say, I see you. You know what I'm saying? I see you. I'm here for you. You're going to be all right. You know what I mean? And because you're doing this fight, I see you even brighter now because you're doing a little bit more.
Right.
We need that. We really need that.
Somebody said, Cherie Robinson said, "Man, trying to stay focused because my purpose takes more time than the industry getting me to fully fulfill purpose." Yeah, I mean, it's not so. I hate to. I want to be like, it's not going to be easy.
At all.
If it's easy, it's probably not your purpose. Like doing it might be easy. Doing like using myself for example, talking in front of people is easy.
Yeah.
Preparing to talk in front of people is fun.
Mm-hmm.
All other stuff,
You good.
all the questions, all the sideways comments, all of the all of the holding my tongue when I want to say God bless you.
Yeah.
The late nights, the early mornings, having to read books, having to constantly that part's not fun. Having to understand that people are not going to get your purpose, that the people who are closest to you are often going to be the people who understand you the least and support you the least and talk about you the best. And because they know all the intimate details of your life, they're gonna hold them over you. Like all of that, none of that part is fun.
Yeah. Yep. No. And that's what pushes you. That part right there is what stretches you. Those uncomfortable moments is what makes you wonder, how bad do I really want this? Because I could be done with all of this. I could take the website down. I could sell these little jars. I know you could be like, I can withdraw. I can deactivate all these pages, remove everybody from this here group. You know what I mean? We've had those conversations.
Be a harmony.
I push the button.
Every one of us.
Push the button. I'd be like.
Oh, that's true.
But your purpose will not allow you, your call, your gift will not allow you to do it, because you know good and well the moment you shut it down, you're gonna be sitting there going, let me tell you how you're gonna be sitting there going, looking at somebody else doing, going, they need to do this. If they did this, this would be better.
Right.
This would be better. And you know what? And I bet if they did, like, you fixing everybody else's stuff,
but my own,
because you know good and well that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
You know that's what you're supposed to be doing. People, like you said, people come. Y'all remember that one time we were at Purple Martini? We were at Purple Martini. Somebody walks up to me in the middle of Purple Martini, never met me in my life. Excuse me, are you a pastor?
Yeah.
It was just over you. He just had to glow in the Purple Martini.
You can't get away from your call.
Yeah.
That was a little reminder. That was a tap on the shoulder.
Yeah, you ain't supposed to be in here. What you doing? Oh, that's funny. Tay says, yes, you definitely need a true team to get you through. Agreed. And your purpose makes room for you. That is true. Even when you try and shut yourself out of it, it is going to make room. It's going to say, this corner right here. This one's right here for you. Right here. I'll scoot a chair. Like it will make room for you to have several seats right there in the midst of your purpose. So what time is it? 9:23. We got just a few more minutes. Dang, that moves fast. Jeez Louise.
Always.
So Kels, I know that we go through phases as humans as far as being here for it versus not being here for it. Before we end this segment, can we all what are our unpopular, this was my question I was going to ask Eric. What unpopular advice do you have for people battling with a stance or a purpose problem, like the identifying problem? What unpopular truth could you give them in trying to overcome that we've experienced as entrepreneurs?
I'm trying to understand the question.
So there's always the cliche, well, keep pushing,
right.
Stand up and do that. Like, what is that one thing that has gotten you through in the midst of wanting to say, I'm done with this, that you would share with someone else? It's like, you know what? This is, you would not think this did it, but this is what got me through.
Yeah, I misunderstood that question.
I know.
I guess
You're working on getting clarified now.
Well, the way I was thinking it, and I think it still needs to be said, the way I was thinking you were asking was like, what's some real truth that you probably don't face as, you know, when you're looking for your purpose that you're not gonna like, but you want.
I'll take that too.
Answer that. I answer your question. You answer that question.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to hear the answer to that question. Go ahead.
What I would say is my unpopular truth is that everybody is not going to support everything with your purpose. And you have to really ask yourself, am I looking for support just to have people doing something for me? Or what do I need from these people that I want to support me?
Yeah.
And I think when I started thinking like that, it made things easier for me. Like I could see a different part of success, a different part of satisfaction. Like I don't want you to support me, but I want you to connect with me. I want you to want to be a part of something bigger. I want to be able to motivate you to be better. Yeah. So the most unpopular advice for me that people really have to think about, you're gonna have to face it. It's like, what are you really wanting from support? And what does support really mean to you? How do you even what do you even consider support?
Yeah. What do
support,
you
support will lift you up, but it will stump your head in the ground.
Right. Because we can psych ourselves out. When it goes and goes and goes and goes, and all of a sudden there's nothing, then that's a whole other question that you have. So was it me? Was it the product? Were they really here? Like, yeah. It'll slap you in your face. Support will smack you around. You sure right about that. All right, Win. So now you answer my other question.
39-year-old Winfred is going to give this is 39-year-old Winfred. 35-year-old Winfred would have said something totally different. 39-year-old Winfred says, the one thing that keeps me going, the one thing that helps me is rest. Learning when I first started this, and you all have seen this, it was focus, hustle, grind. It was 24 hours nonstop. Keep going no matter what happens, no matter how you feel. I don't care what's going on. You block out everything else and you get this done. At 39, I'm saying take a couple days off.
Yeah.
Take a week off. Take a month off if you have to. And to regroup, to get yourself together, to make sure your family is okay. Because here is the thing I have to like, if this is my purpose, taking a break is not going to stop it.
Yeah.
I had to learn that too. That's a very good
if this is something that is for me, now granted, I'm still Mr. Focus, hustle, grind. I'm still saying you got to put it, if you want to be in 1%, then you got to put in the work of the 1%. But I'm also saying that there are times when it is okay to do nothing. Yeah. That doesn't make you any less. That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you somebody who doesn't want it bad enough. It makes you human. It makes you a mother. It makes you a father. It makes you, it's acceptable. And like I said, 35-year-old Winfred says, do what you got to do and tell everybody else to kiss where the sun don't shine.
Right.
And I
my mama says, this is one that's going to make you laugh. My mama says, kiss what I twist and I don't mean my wrist. I said, okay, Mama. I like that.
Little chili dog.
Yes.
But at 39, at 39, the realization is that our bodies are not made to work 16, 18-hour days and function on. There was a time that I was functioning on 4 or 5 hours of sleep for a long time.
Yeah.
And when it catches up to you, it catches up to you. So take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Take care of your body. Take care of your relationships.
It shows when you need that rest. What was old boy at Tesla? Homeboy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Elon Musk, it shows.
Yeah, he needed a nap, a long nap, a couple naps.
I mean, he lost. Look, you lost CEO being the CEO of your own company
Mm-hmm.
because you weren't sleeping. So, yeah, I think we just gotta, I think that's the biggest thing I've learned is it's okay to rest. And I love what Kel said, by the way. I think that is totally on point.
Oh yeah. We're team. Get out your feelings when it comes to the support aspect of that.
Right.
And,
You have to.
we always can tell when someone is new in business because that's one of the hardest things to adjust to is my people aren't my people. You know what I mean? It makes you feel that way. You know what I mean? You really start to question friendships and alliances and were you really with me, shooting in the gym or because you ain't bought nothing yet? Well, maybe that's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of business is targeting your profit. Your friends are rarely your target. So that was very
now I will say if you're my friend and you can't at least share a post, I got a problem. But you only have to buy nothing. You can't share a post.
Very minimal.
Somebody that, what we doing, we go new friends.
Yeah. And for me, I'm not even gonna say it has to be every post because especially if you got a lot going on. Like I get that. But I would like you to share at some point.
You see, I got a sale, share the post.
Exactly. Right. If I'm just talking mess, don't share that. You're gonna have to share that. Random selfies, you don't have to share that. Don't share my selfies. Share myself.
Share your selfie. Not that one. Not that one.
Let me have promo in your DM to share. Right. That's what you
and make sure, I think what you were hitting on, Q, is making sure you realize there's a difference between your friends and people who you do business with, who you work with, because even your networking friends, in terms of your other business friends, that might be a totally separate group, and that's okay. In the long run, you're okay. You should be okay with that. Yeah. Because you don't, every time you go around somebody, you don't want to talk about business. So you need that place where those people who don't care how many sales you did last month, all they care about is, how are you doing? Mm-hmm. How is your family? How is your health? They care about that. And that's okay too. Mm-hmm. Again, they need to share a post though. I ain't gonna even listen. I'm gonna tell y'all right. I'm looking at some people right now, and I'm questioning our relationship because I'm like, I've been we've been promoting this conference for how many months?
Hmm.
That's how I'm looking at them.
Mm-hmm. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They will be all right.
For a discount, I'm be like,
but for this time next year.
I don't know you like that. Me no speaking the English.
Right. English. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to hush before Mother Maybelline be all in my mix, and I'm having a good day, and I'd rather not start my week off with a whooping. Thank you very much. So, as always, I appreciate you all for joining in this amazing conversation about meshing your purpose with your peers. You've been wonderful. And are we going to go to our song, or are we going to go on into Mother?
Yeah, we got time.
Okay, all right. So our final song for the evening is My Way by Trey Ward. And I'm excited to hear it. Let's go. My Way.
Baby girl, I'm trying to find a way to forget about your face. I keep on coming back to you. Guess what you're fighting ain't gon' do. So take the hand and see with me. Side to side, round and round, baby, dip it out. So for it, bring it back. Back door, baby, bring it my way. Side to side. Round and round, baby, dip it out. Step forward, baby, bring it back. You got it all back, girl, baby, bring it my way. Baby, bring it my way. Baby, bring it my way. Baby, bring it on my way. Yeah. Baby, bring it my way. Baby, bring it my way. Baby, bring it on my way.
There's a lot.
You thought it was a time I can beat it up like you, but we can take it outside. Yeah. The show had to break my way. Lay on summer, I get paid. Your waist always curved, but mama get all the praise. Your hips like Thanksgiving, put it on the day. Yeah. I can be sorry for the way. Yeah. Sorry that we later had to make a cake. Yeah. Promise that I never do you dirt. Put you first. I got plans for you to put that ass to work again. Can you bring my way? Can you bring my way? Baby, bring it on my way. Can you bring my way? Can you bring it my way? Baby, bring it on my way. Baby, bring my way. Bring my way. Baby, bring it on my way. Can you bring it my way? Bring it my way. Stop, round and round, baby, just get out. Step forward, baby, bring it back. You got a lot back there, baby, bring it my way. Baby, bring it my way. Baby, bring it on my way. Baby, bring it my way. My way. Baby, bring it on my way.
All right. I like that.
Yes.
That was our Dirty Wine Jam right there. That was My Way by Trey Ward. Nice little Jimmy Jam to bring Mother Maybelline on this evening. It has been, I believe, 2 weeks since we chatted, and I am long overdue for some Hey Girl Hey from my favorite Mother Maybelline. So I want to go ahead and get to it and let you guys know tonight she is talking about being detoured but not delayed. And I don't know of a better subject matter to follow up having purpose conversations, discussing what it takes to get to your peers, and express what your purpose is, because it takes a while. It can take a second to get there. And you have to convince yourself, and sometimes you feel like the world to believe that you're on the right path, but you're gonna get there. So I think this little extra wisdom that Mother's about to put on this thing is gonna help us, help us gain a little more understanding around being patient with your purpose. Because I think that's something that we often do. We rush it, trying to get it in front of everybody to show everybody, see, I found mine, I got mine, when we might not always need to do that. So I'm interested to see what being patient in your purpose looks like. His mother, has she gotten herself together? Is she ready for us to rock and roll?
She's trying to get her wig right.
Oh, Mother said that wig on about 8:15, so it'll be right by 9:30.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not telling that woman nothing.
Right. I'm gonna let her take her time.
Right.
While she doing that real quick, let me also remind us that if you are not only do we want you to come to the Level Up conference, but we are also looking for vendors. So we're looking for about 30 vendors to come and show off your product or your service. We're running right now. We're the next 10 people. We got 2 today, so the next 8 people who join the Level Up conference as vendors will get $100 off of the vendor registration. So you definitely need to do that today. So the website again is www.levelupchicago.com. www.levelupchicago.com. Again, www.levelupchicago.com. You will see a tab that says registration. Click on that, and then you will see vendor and sponsorship application. We're also looking for sponsors. So if your corporation, your company, your business would like to be a sponsor, which means you get additional benefits, you get your name in our conference book, you get advertising on this show, among other things, then you can also be a sponsor. So again, go to www.levelupchicago.com and join this movement. This is going to be the premier conference in 2019, so I definitely want you to do that. Again, www.levelupchicago.com if you want to be a vendor or a sponsor. You can also, if you have any questions, see me or CQ, and we will get you hooked up.
Yes, please. Holla at you, girl. I'm happy to help. I need you in the place.
Is Mother ready yet? Maybe her stockings fell down. Hold on.
You can leave them down for the podcast.
She got to get her stockings together too.
Right. We just need that good neck up. We just need the neck up.
Yeah.
Y'all can't go nowhere without a slip. So.
Oh. The old school slip. Do they even still make slips? Like, I wouldn't even know where to buy a slip nowadays.
Yeah. And I refuse to put my daughters through that torture. We just do tights and good coverage. Like, this is one extra thing to keep up with. We just don't do. We ain't about that slip life at the Willis household.
Girl, I remember, this is gonna crack you up. I remember watching this girl slip fall down in church. Like, I'll never forget it. This has to be 30 years ago. And this girl slipped. She was like standing up in front of everybody. I don't know if she was doing a speech, singing a song. But that slip was just inching down, and we was just dying. Trying to hold that leg. That slip fell to the floor, honey. We was cracking up. Yeah, that was a rabbit hole comment, but
that was not a rabbit hole comment.
I was still laughing. I was still laughing about that. It's so funny. We watched this.
I remember I'd have a slip, stockings, a can with the bell on it, so you heard me coming. I had the ruffled socks and with the little bell on it. Oh, a can? Oh,
that's a big slip that make your dress stand out.
Yeah, the big
gonna make your dress stand out.
Yeah, ruffles that go underneath the little girls' Sunday dresses. They give them the poof. Yeah. It's called a can. Well, I don't know what it's called. That's what we call it. If you was a little brown girl growing up, you called it a can because that's what my grandmother told me it was. But I would have stockings, my can, and my slip, and my socks. It was a lot. I was hot. Sitting in my Carmel Baptist Church, I was hot.
No wonder why folks don't want to go to church. It's uncomfortable to be able to
Mother done called me trying to get on the show.
Lord.
Baby, is I on here or not? This technology is something else now. I can't get it together over here.
What's up, Mother? How you doing?
Yeah, you on here, Mother.
You on here.
You on, Mother.
Can you hear? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Lord Jesus, let me tell you something. First of all, I'm laughing. She said Mother gonna have to put her little wig on by. Let me tell you what Mother did, Cherry, so the whole world can know that I don't know nothing about technology. Baby, I'm on my cell phone just hitting that link and saying, why the page won't load? She can get on here with y'all through her cell phone.
Oh.
And then, child, I done come over here and turn on the laptop, and I got this beautiful blue Microsoft. Now, any other time, this laptop would have turned right on. So I believe this might be a part of my detour.
Right.
I see you, Jesus. I see you, Jesus. For those that don't believe in Jesus, whatever the other thing is that you call them, but I see you, Lord. So with that being said, I'm going to skip through all the regular introduction and say, Q, Winfred and Kels, I sure love y'all. And we're going to move forward and get into the meat of this issue. Detoured, but not delayed. We already know what a detour is. Every now and then you got to take a different route. And tonight was a primary example of when you think you got your mind set to do something. You think you got the steps 1, 2, and 3. You think it's going to go A, B, and C. And you find out, Lord, how did I get to X, Y, and Z without even getting through to the middle? Sometimes in life, we get detoured. That means I got to go a different way. I might have to make adjustments, either because I don't have the resources that I need. Maybe I don't have the right mental state or energy that I need. Maybe I'm not in a capacity to grow. For whatever reason, sometimes we got to go a different route. And for those of you that have no clue what I'm talking about, let me break it down to on an even simpler level. Sometimes you want to have Olive Garden for dinner, and you didn't know they closed at 9. So then you go to McDonald's. You understand what I'm saying? You still ate. You maybe didn't eat right what you wanted and had a taste for, but you ate. But you knew Olive Garden was going to be open the next day, okay? So simply put, I want to encourage somebody, because we all need to remember this sometimes, that just because you are detoured, or you take a different route, just like when you're going through a construction zone, and what does it tell you? What that little phrase to be on there, y'all, would tell you, the alternate route. I can't think of the words to be on that little orange sign, but it's basically telling you, if you're trying to go to Highway 9, it's closed over there, but if you go this way, you're going to take all these different steps, but you're going to still get to Highway 9. Somebody needs to know today that even though there might be some construction along the way to the destination you're trying to get, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get there. Delay does not mean, the tour does not mean that it's going to be delayed. It means that it's going to happen right on time when it needs to happen. Are y'all with me? Because sometimes we think we're going to go one way and it doesn't work. And it was perfect when y'all were talking about leading up about business and support from family and friends and sharing posts and little things like that we want people to do that we sometimes can't get from there, or we get discouraged, or we feel like it seems like the bottom is falling out, and we're dealing with all kinds of different things, and why can't I get there, and I seem like I'm being faithful. And this covers a wide spectrum of things, y'all. We talking about in relationships that are personal, in business relationships, in your finances, in your weight loss. I don't care what it is. Sometimes you feel like that the detour, the different route is taking you off base. But sometimes along the way on that route, you might be picking up a few hitchhikers that ain't supposed to ride with you. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes on the route that you think you have set up for yourself, you're picking up some hitchhikers that you don't need along the way. And some of those hitchhikers might be distraction. Your hitchhiker might be self-doubt. And I know it's a little old school, so now that we got Uber and Lyft, some of y'all may not know who a hitchhiker is. I ain't trying to be funny, but a hitchhiker is a person standing on the side of the highway with their thumb out, and they hoping a car will stop and pick them up and give them a ride. Now, we did that back in the day. You know, it was love, peace, and hair grease. Then, you know, you meet somebody and go to their house back then, they offer you a line of cocaine and a glass of wine and say, come on in. Times are different now. You know, that's when they were doing a whole lot of different things, you know, big group parties. You know what I'm talking about. Nowadays, people might not like the hitchhike ride because you don't know, you might get murdered. Folks are crazy nowadays. But I want you to think about this analogy in that metaphorical sense, that sometimes those little hitchhikers, the hitchhikers in my story tonight are those voices and things in your mind that are distracting you from realizing you're going to still get to your destination. So why so discouraged? Why so depressed? Why so frustrated? Why so ready to throw in the towel just because you had to take a detour? You don't mean it's shut down because you had to take a detour. It just means that it's not there right now. What can I do in those times when I feel like my detour has got me delayed? A couple of things I can do. I can stay positive. Oh, yeah, that's easier said than done, mother. You don't know what I've been through. Let me tell you something. What do y'all say that when y'all make that joke, something face applesauce, you know, look at that. I ain't gonna say words. Oh, my problems are thinking of somebody else was looking like just because you have a situation that everything has got to stop. You know, when they say things work like clockwork, things do work like clockwork, but it may not be your clock that it's working on. And especially if you're a believer, you know what I'm talking about. Detour does not mean delay. Stop giving up on your relationship with your husband and your wives just because it might take a minute for them to fix the problem. Stop giving up on your dreams and goals just because you might have to go across a few bad business deals before you get to the good thing. Stop giving up on your weight loss just because you might lose 20 pounds and gain back 4 or 5, but you still got the ultimate goal. So why so sad? Why are we so ready to stop before we get to the finish line? At what point do we apply what we give out to other people? Because you can't throw in the towel. Well, let me say this. You can throw in the towel, but you will live a life that is less fulfilling if you don't learn how to deal with the detours and know that it doesn't mean your whole ship is delayed. Now, what happens if I do get a detour and my whole dream is delayed? Well, then maybe it's time for you to decide if that's really the path you're supposed to be on. Because I'll freely admit, sometimes there are relationships, people, person, places, things that we do get cut off from out of our choices or lack of resources or whatever it is that we deal with. So some of those things, yes, it is going to be a dead end to the road and you can't go no further. But for those things that you don't see a dead end, I want to encourage you to hold on. Speak positive affirmation. Stay surrounded by people that can encourage you. You know the people that if you bring them something in your life, they're not going to give you encouragement. They're going to get you juiced up. They're going to get you more negative. They're going to get you more, yeah, girl, I wouldn't do it either. Stop giving your energy to those people and you're looking for encouragement. Be careful who you're surrounded by. Be careful what you think and say about yourself, most importantly. Be careful the conversations you have with yourself while you are on your detour. Because that will determine whether or not you will continue down your path. I had more tonight, but we had a malfunction, but I believe that God spoke what he wanted spoken tonight. Because so many of us in different areas, like me trying to come onto the show tonight, couldn't get on. I had a plan, I had a link, I had everything all set up, but there was a detour. But it did not make the message any less effective. In fact, the detour tonight, I believe, made the lesson even more effective. So sometimes when you have those stumbling blocks, when you have to go back a step or two, it's not making the story any less effective, baby. It's just making the pages turn a little bit slower. But I promise you, you'll get through that chapter. If you keep writing that pen on this paper called life, we gonna get there, y'all. Rest in peace to the young man, Nipsey, and his family. I just want to say, no matter what we are doing in our life, positive or negative, we're gonna draw attention. You can't walk around in fear of being a beacon in life, but fear that your life will be taken. Because we're going to leave this place one way or the other. But won't it be better to leave knowing I was alive before I left here? I love y'all. That's all I got tonight. Detour, but you're not delayed.
All right, mother.
All right.
Yes, mother.
I like that.
The word. The word, mother. All right. Well, I guess we can take our time. Go ahead and close the show out. We good.
I love y'all. Bye now.
Take your time.
Mother's gone.
She says, and I'm done. She said, we delayed this enough. I'm getting on off this phone now. That's what she said.
I ain't mad at her. All right.
Say, check us out with a feedback-free show. Come through technology and a feedback-free show. Congratulations.
In the background.
Yes. So, friends and family that are still hanging out and watching with us, please share. Hit the button before we go on and wrap this thing up. Before you go on and go ahead and slide under the covers for the night, wrap your hair up with that good satin bonnet or do-rag or whatever you do. Hit that share button so in the morning when folks pop up and they getting dressed and brushing teeth, they can go on and set us up on a little tripod and catch this replay. So hit the share. Thank you. And we will be forever grateful and appreciated of the support. See, that's how you can support. Hit the share.
Amen.
All right, stepping off my soapbox so we can do closing announcements.
You said closing announcements.
Closing announcements, yes.
We're going to bring the service to a close with our announcements.
Yeah.
Offering time.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
All right, Q, you up? Or Kels, you up?
I'm gonna say.
Well, good show tonight. Reminding y'all that the Curvy and Killing It fashion show is coming up May 19th. Tickets are on sale, $35 general admission. VIP is $50 and comes with an exclusive Curvy and Killing It bag. You guys do not want to miss these or the show. So we'll see you there. I don't think I have anything else going on. Get tickets at www.curvykittens.com. As soon as you get there, you'll see a banner to click on for tickets. Have a good rest of the week. Be productive. Yes, do something productive, folks.
Q.
Would also like to say go to www.curvykittens.com and get your tickets to the Curvy and Killing It fashion show because it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for that. My announcements are, I would like to please encourage you to visit elegancebydesign.com. If more than anything, to help me, go ahead, order some. Sexy Shea butter is still on sale. Order some Sexy Shea. I've got some throwback labels that I need to get rid of so I can get this new logo in motion. So please buy up all the Shea, buy up all that stuff so I cannot waste these labels because your girl is ready to jump on the scene with her new hotness for the spring and summer season. So please visit elegancebydesign.com. I might be cooking up a throw it all away sale because I'm trying to get it gone so I can bring in new stuff because James says I have too much stuff already. So I got to get rid of some stuff before I can buy new stuff.
Yes.
He is about that purge life for Elegance by Design. So I need y'all to help me not get in trouble and get some of the Stacey Shea butter off of my shelf. But you can do that by visiting elegancebydesign.com. That is Elegance by Design with a Z.com. If you have any questions, concerns, have any special customizations that you'd like, I'll let you, girl. Y'all have a great week.
That's dope. Where's conference? Oh, okay. Let's read something. Let me do this one first. Wait, where'd it go? Don't judge me.
All right.
It's going. I just got to turn the volume up.
You wasn't trying to do like last time and have all that extra.
Right.
Wants to see your
Try this
face
again.
in the Global Drive Network, the group that's changing the generation while raising the conversation. Wants to see your face in the place this summer from August 9th through 11th at the 2019 Level Up Conference. Level up your faith, family, and finances. Learn, connect, and grow from ordinary to extraordinary. Register at levelupchicago.com. Let's level up in the Windy City.
I'm so good. I just love that commercial. That's what
That's cute.
I just love that commercial. Anyway,
Where's the fancy commercial that's been launched yet?
you talking about the video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sharing it. Mm-hmm.
I ain't seen it.
You ain't seen my video?
I ain't know if I can share it. I ain't seen it.
You please. I've been sharing it.
In it. If you allowed a post, you've been sharing it. It's on there. Because he tagged us in it. We just add the timeline now. If I know when he did it, I'm just like add.
I ain't seen it.
So it's on there.
It's
Yeah, we'll be spamming us, but it's okay. You have 13 pending posts. Damn it, man.
like,
Girl, yeah.
Listen, y'all go get this conference. I don't want to hear nobody be like, I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Right.
Bruh, if you don't know about this conference, as much money I'm spending on advertising right now. Jesus be a home equity line of credit. Anyway, I'm sorry.
You got real tears, y'all. It's real. I guess it's real in these advertising streets.
It is.
You trying to take all my money? I'm gonna lose weight at this conference.
Oh my God. Check on your pandas. They are not okay out here. Check on your pandas.
I'm about to start driving Lyft.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm okay. I promise.
Not the cough. Bye. Don't die before our eyes now. Lord.
Right, we need this conference to happen. I need you here for the conference. I need
Right.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm okay now. Oh, all right, y'all. Good show tonight.
For
Again, as she said,
Winfred's sake.
go to curvykitten.com. Get your tickets for the May 19th fashion show. It's gonna be off the hook. Yeah, like she said, we are gonna be there. This is a team effort around here. So also, if you would like to advertise, you see on this platform, on this radio show, then please get at me. We've got some new packages that we are working on. Excuse me, where you can again put your product, put your service in front of our listeners. If you are a musician, if you're an indie artist and you want your music played on the show, email us the MP3 format to globaldriveradio@gmail.com, along with any pictures that you want to show while your song is played. Again, that's globaldriveradio@gmail.com. Last but definitely not least, if this is your first time listening, please go to the Global Drive. Make sure you like the Global Drive Network Facebook page, as well as let us know by simply in the comments saying first time, so that way we know that this is your first time and we can properly thank you and welcome you to our family, to the Scoop Nation. So we appreciate you, Q, as y'all already know. Love you. I appreciate y'all for rolling with me. And as always, y'all have a good rest of your week. Stay positive, stay focused, continue to go after your purpose. Don't let anything stop you from what you were born to do, because we all have something that we were born to do that no one else can do. So I hope you guys have a good week. I hope you enjoyed the show. And still, again, hit the share button. Keep putting your comments after the show is over. We continue to look at them, and we will continue to interact. So we love you, appreciate you. And if you're not a part of the Scoop Nation, search Scoop Nation Facebook group. I'm going to warn you. It get a little interested in there, but it's
cool.
It get a little interesting in there sometimes. But it's gotten better. So, all right, y'all. So I appreciate y'all. Again, get some elegance by design. Listen, the summertime is coming up, so y'all know
some feet in order.
I got to get my tingle toes. I can't believe I left Oklahoma City without it, but that's okay. Yeah. I'm gonna get my tingle toes. I'm gonna get my tingle toes and my shea butter. I got my back to my roots on. I got my Curvy Kitten. I got my we gonna do this, y'all. We in this together. We gonna continue to build together. And so yeah, y'all have a good rest of your week.
Good night.
Good night.
I'm prolific, so gifted. I'm the type of get it, no kidding. Sitting on the steps, feeling no feelings. Last night it was a cold trip.